Breast milk gives your baby a healthy start. It's almost like the first set of shots. It's the healthiest food for babies. It gives the baby a healthy immune system. It helps the baby's brain to develop and function. It's going to help the baby fight off bacteria and viruses, so your baby stays healthier. Babies that are breastfed have a much lower risk of dying from SIDS. They have a much lower risk of dying from anything during the first year of life. Breast milk is a living substance, and that sounds a little strange, but it's got healthy things in it. It's got antibodies in it to fight infection. It has cells in it that help the baby's body to grow and to do the things that it's supposed to do. We're still learning about breast milk, but we know it's got over 300 substances in it. Well, what we know is that formula is actually based on breast milk, so it's got the same protein and carbohydrates and sugars, etc. But it doesn't have the same exact protein. Human milk protein that's in breast milk is much easier for a baby to digest than cow's milk protein. And most formulas have cow's milk protein. Breast milk is much easier for a baby to digest, but it also helps to prep the immune system. It helps the baby to start fighting infections, because babies are born with a relatively low immunity to all the things out in the air that we're breathing, things that can make us sick. And those same things can make babies sick, but breast milk helps a baby to fight those things. When the mother ingests bacteria or viruses from the air, she starts developing antibodies to those things, and when she feeds her baby, she passes on those antibodies to the baby, which helps the baby fight off those infections and gives the baby a healthy start. The more research we do on breast milk, the more we find out that it does. We know that it will actually help a child throughout his or her lifespan, so that means as an adult even, that person has lower risks of diabetes, obesity, heart disease, cancer. It's an amazing substance. And when a baby isn't breastfed, he or she misses out on those lifelong benefits. Mom has a lot of benefits. It helps her right after she has the baby to help her uterus contract and help her get her shape. It burns lots of calories and helps her get back to the weight that she was before she had the baby. It also decreases a mother's risks of breast cancer and ovarian cancer. And breast cancer is one of the #1 killers of women. And so just the act of breastfeeding can lower a woman's risk of breast cancer, and that's significant. Breastfeeding really does help a mom and baby bond. Now we know, of course, a mom and baby bond even when mom is formula feeding. But when a mom's breastfeeding, it forms a very special bond that she's not going to find anywhere else in her lifetime. Breastfeeding helps a mom to relate to her infant. It also helps her feel like a better parent. She has more self-efficacy as a parent. She feels more able to deal with the ups and downs of having a newborn, because it actually changes her brain chemistry in the process of breastfeeding. We see a very strong bond both with the mom and the father, and we actually see less child abuse, which that seems like a remarkable benefit of breastfeeding. But again, when a mom breastfeeds, it changes her brain chemistry, it changes the way she looks at a situation, it helps to calm her down, and it helps her to feel more able to care for her baby. Many women have to return to work, and that's a concern, because not only is she returning to work and carrying the stresses of that, but she also has to have time to actually find a place to pump her milk, a place to store her milk at work, and then get that milk to the daycare, and that can seem overwhelming. Mississippi state law protects a woman's right to breastfeed wherever she is. Mississippi state law also requires daycares to accept breastfed babies. In other words, they can't discriminate and not accept a breastfed baby. And the new federal law protects a woman at work and protects her right to use her break time or her lunch time to actually pump her milk for her baby. Employers should be open to talking to pregnant moms about breastfeeding, and sometimes that may seem like an uncomfortable conversation, but it really is a healthy conversation, because it makes you deal with the reality that mom is going to be returning to work. And it's really a good thing for employers because the mom is going to miss less work. Her baby is going to be ill less often. If mom is getting her insurance through her job, mom's going to be sick less. Her baby's going to be sick less. So that's less interim employees that he has to have come in and do her job while she's caring for a sick baby. So it's a cost savings, it's a time savings, and also it's very respectful for the mother. In other words, when she wants to breastfeed and her employer supports her, that makes her feel very good about her job. She speaks well of her company, of her employer, and it boosts her morale. The Department of Health website has many resources for breastfeeding. That's www.healthyms.com. Also, the Mississippi Breastfeeding Coalition, www.msbfc.org, or La Leche League, also the CDC. All those are very good websites to find good, correct information.